Little buddy wants his loving time this morning. Yeah, he wants his loving time this morning. He's always competing with Lucky. But he likes to be petted too. Yeah, he likes to be petted too. Well, I wanted to give you an update on the garden. We haven't done that in a while. You can see I've still got greens. I've got bell peppers growing. Eggplant. Those are the Casper white eggplants right there. More bell pepper. I've got eggplant up there trying to produce the Casper eggplant. Got one right there. And my cactus is doing real well. It's growing like crazy. It's rooted. So I need to break more pieces off and start more of it, I guess. My rock garden is still looking good. My crepe myrtle is trying to bloom. It's doing real well since I put the weed barrier cloth and the wood chips down. My aloe vera. I've got 3 big aloe vera right now, so I don't know what I'm going to do with it when it gets freezing cold weather. I guess I'll have to put it in the greenhouse and try to keep it from freezing. I'll take one and put it in the house. And there's the rose bushes we planted. They're looking good. They're trying to bloom. And I've got this other flower coming up in there, and I don't like that. I'm going to try to keep all of that out that I can. I mean, it grows good here, but it doesn't bloom pretty. It has too small of flowers on it. My crepe myrtles out there, 3 of them. It's just so dry right now, they're struggling too, just like everything else. My rock garden out here with the little man. And I'm still not sure if I want to put weed barrier cloth down in here and put mulch on top or not. I cleaned it out the other day. I got all the vines, or I thought. See, I've still got vines growing here. And I don't want those vines in there. I'll just try to keep them pulled out as I see them come up. There's another one. But it seems like you can't get the whole thing pulled up. It breaks off and then you get more coming up from the roots, just like right here. So I don't know what. If I put weed barrier cloth down, it'll stop that somewhat. I wanted to show you. It puts out like a bulb. You can't get rid of it hardly. And I made the mistake of buying some of that at the nursery one time and planted it out here. And now it's everywhere. I mean, if I could get it to grow real pretty and be able to keep it watered like everything else that I can't keep watered right now, it would be pretty. The vines would be pretty. But you wouldn't be able to have anything else growing with it. I just had an ant bite me. So yeah, I'm not sure if I want to put weed barrier cloth out here. I can always put it around my daylilies. Plant something in the weed barrier cloth. I just don't know yet. I'm still thinking on it. Because like I said, I've got that vine and the roots are entwined in my daylilies. That's the problem. So even if I put weed barrier cloth down, I'm going to end up with the vines growing out of the daylily roots. So I don't know. But I can't keep anything watered good. And see, I've got a a vine here. Right there. See that little kind of the bulbs it puts down? And I regret the day I ever bought any that I put in there, but I might eventually just let the vines take over. If this drought doesn't stop. And there's my pumpkin, my Halloween display. And my light burned out in the top pumpkin, that evil looking one. So I've got a bulb, I just haven't taken the time to replace the bulb. Most of my daylilies died up here because I can't keep them watered enough. My Mexican plant is alive down here, but you can see it looks pretty bad because of this drought. I just can't keep enough water to my plants. Look at little buddy. My rose bushes and my mums are doing pretty good on the property line out here. But see how brown the yard is? It's just so dry and hot. My mums are looking good, and that's the last mum I planted. So some of the flowers have died off. But the plant looks good. I mean, it's getting ready to put out new flowers. So it'll survive in this pot. I got 2 different color mums in there. And there's a pot of mums. They're looking really good. I need to put some compost tea to them today. And my rose bush there is not doing too good. I've been thinking about digging it up and putting it in a big pot, or put it in a pot and plant it in the big rock garden or something, because I can't keep enough water to the roots with it in the ground. During rainy season it looks really good. And there's that last rose bush I planted. I've got it in there with I think it's 4 o'clocks. Yellow 4 o'clocks. They're growing real good in there. I got perpetual spinach. I've got a moonflower growing there. My orange bell peppers. I got one ready to pick. And I got more moonflowers. My moonflowers are doing good if I have them in a pot. Out here in the rock garden, they've died off because it's just too dry. They'll be back up in the spring, but they're died down now. And there's the other rose bush that I have in the pot. I can pretty well keep them halfway watered in the pots, but if they're in the ground, the ground gets too dry, and then the roots are so deep in the ground you can't get to them with water. There's another mum. My fire pit where I've been burning brush. And there goes my other mum. It has a lot coming up from the bottom. Just putting out a new plant down in there. I got, they must be digging for septic tanks or something in the front yard. They've been back there digging for days. I can't see what they're doing. But there's my onions. My onions are looking good. My strawberries. I need to get out here and water them a little bit. Put compost tea to them. But you know, it's almost time for them to go dormant. I got little tomatoes. I've been coming out here and I'll pick a few and eat them when I'm doing my garden. And I don't know, I can't keep this thing propped up. I need to do something else with the sticks or something. Oh well, I'll come out here later and do it. But see, it's full of little golden Jubilee tomatoes. And they are good. They're good salad tomatoes. I got bell pepper. And it's got a pretty bell pepper on it. Got bell pepper here, which is producing. I got turnips in there, but you can't really see them. They got this shade cloth on them, but they need water. I got lettuce in there. My other strawberries. This big grape tomato vine is still producing, even though the vine looks terrible. Got a bunch of little grape tomatoes there. I need to come out here and pick them. I got my onions planted here with my tomatoes. See, all my grape tomatoes are still producing. I got a tomato here. Go ahead and pick that. See, all of my little grape tomatoes are still producing. More onions. And see here the tomatoes. I'm going to go ahead and pick these. And I got a bunch of green ones there. My peppers. These are Hungarian hot peppers, I think. What is it, Lucky? Tomatoes still growing. My sweet potato vines. What is it, Lucky? This is another pepper plant, the Hungarian hot pepper. I picked all of them off of that the other day. I've got a grape tomato here. My tree collards. And look at this, my wandering Jew. Isn't that beautiful? Tree collards, the ones that I rooted. It's another green tomato, but it looks like a bird or something got to it. My Rose of Sharon is still alive, but I haven't decided where to put it. I need to put it somewhere where it's in partial shade and it needs water. And look here, my pepper plant. It's full of bell pepper. They're not big enough really to pick, but that's the orange bell pepper. Look. And there's my rose bushes we planted here. They're trying to bloom. They got buds all over them. My big rose bushes here. My bearded iris. My bearded iris didn't do too good at blooming this summer. I don't know why. I don't know if it was the weather or what. Put my tomatoes right there. But look, I got more eggplant, bell pepper. There's a bell pepper. That's the orange one. I got bell pepper here. And that might be just a green one because it doesn't look like it's turning any. My peppermint. My other big aloe vera. Lucky, what are you doing? You trying to shred that carpet. Well, let's continue on around here. They're playing music back there, so I guess I'll get my video copyrighted. Then I got peppers here. That's the Hungarian hot peppers. Still got tomatoes here blooming and producing. This Hungarian pepper plant's still producing. Some of them are not looking too good though. I guess because it's getting too cool at night for them. Peppers like hot weather. Big rose bush there. 2 more here. And my peppermint. And look at this. I got another big, that's a celebrity. Oh, it's got blossom end rot on it though. I don't know if that can be salvaged or not. I'll take it in the house and see. But I got more here too. It's full of blooms. I don't know if they'll have time to ripen before we have our first freeze. But my bell peppers, my plants are full of bell peppers. And these are, I think, all orange ones. Because a lot of them are turning orange. And I didn't do anything with that garden. I'm going to change that up for this spring. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. But I've got to pick my basil, put it in the dehydrator. Look at this. Aren't those pretty? So I've still got tons of salad tomatoes. My mums are blooming, rooted because they're starting to grow. My cannon looks good. See, I got tomatoes here. I got tomatoes down there. They're golden jubilee. My tree collard. My bell pepper, look at this. It's all mixed in with my tomato plant here. My tomato plant just took off and it's overpowering my my pepper plant. My coleus. Look how pretty the coleus is. And my holy basil, I don't know. This is the first year I've tried to grow any. And it's just not doing good. And I don't remember what this was. It could have been a holy basil, I'm not sure. But see, I got basil back there I need to harvest and put it in the dehydrator. And see, I got all tomatoes all through there. Coleus here. My clematis. Clematis is not doing too good this summer. I don't know why. One side was growing pretty good and then it started dying out because of the heat and no water. But now it's trying to come back. I'm sure it'll come back all this in the spring. It'll look a lot better than it does now. We got peppers down in there. I was looking to see if there was any tomatoes, but I don't see any. But look at the okra. I always let my okra get away with me. Look at this. Look at this over here. Down here. And I've only got a few plants that are really producing. See, look at that. But I get enough off of these 4 or 5 plants. There's one there. That I can, you know, it makes a serving for me for a meal. I just roast them in the little frying pan and cook them that way. And see, there's one up here with my tomatoes. My onions are all coming up since I'm able to keep little Lucky out of the planter or the pot, the bucket. See my tomatoes. Oh, I forgot to show you my watermelon. So I wanted to come out here and show you my little watermelon. I didn't even know it was there. Well, the wind's blowing my tarp and my shade cloth. Let's see there. Oh, my little watermelon. I saw it the other day. It was covered with the shade cloth, so I didn't even know it was there. I don't know if it'll ripen or if it is ripe or nothing. I just happened to find it under there the other day. But I'll go ahead and show you the eggplants over here. Tomato vines, my eggplant. I don't know if the eggplant will be able to produce any more other than what it's done already, because I don't know if we're going to have enough of warm weather. There's one there. I need to put some ant poison on this one because it's covered in ants. And look at all the tomatoes. Isn't that's awesome. My coleus up here. And my kohlrabi, I've never gotten kohlrabi to grow very well for me. It started growing real well and then it just kind of fizzled out. Caladiums, more coleus. I need to trim that back. It's just getting too long and lanky out of hand. My peppermint, and I can't remember the names of these. They come up from bulbs that were so pretty. My potato plant, or potato vine. And look there, I had a volunteer tomato plant come up in the pot. And I've got 2 tomatoes right there. And another one, a couple more right there. And it's still blooming like crazy. And that was just a volunteer tomato. And see, I've got all kind of green tomatoes here. And those are the bigger tomatoes there. They're not the little grape tomatoes. My eggplant. These are the Black Beauty eggplants, I believe. But I've just recently picked all of them. So, and I don't know, I think my hostas is dying back for the winter time. The nights are getting cooler. I don't think it likes the cool nights. And the leaves are kind of swiveling up from the cold. But see, it's still blooming like it wants to produce more eggplant. We'll just see, I don't know. And here's more tomatoes. That's a Roma tomato right there. And I can't keep this tomato vine. Don't plant vining tomatoes in a dishpan with a cage on them because it won't stay up. I'm going to have to fasten it up some other how. I don't know. But it gets top heavy and it pulls everything down. Another eggplant, another tomato. But yeah, we're going to get some cold weather pretty soon. Just a matter of weeks, I'm sure, before we have our first freeze. And all my tomatoes and my eggplant, my peppers and everything else will be gone. But I'll show you the rest of it out here. I'm still keeping my compost pile going. I've got to rake the yard and put leaves and stuff in there because see how it's dropped? Plus I've used a lot of compost out of it. There's more greens, tomato plant, Egyptian walking onions. I've already harvested every one of the little bulbs where my onions have walked, and I've replanted them. This is my garlic here. And see, the marigolds come up from seed. They just pop up at random. Anywhere you've had marigolds growing, there's going to be a stray seed and a plant will come up. And that's what happened right there. So I've just left it. But yeah, that's garlic. 2 pans of garlic. And I've got garlic here. All my tomato plants. And like I said, I still got tomatoes, look. I don't have as many tomatoes this year as I did the years before, because I was able to pick all of my green tomatoes and make chow chow. I'm not going to have as many big tomatoes this year to do the chow chow. I've got a bunch of little cherry tomatoes, like there. I have enough of them that I don't think I'll have enough to make chow chow with. And there's eggplant, and there's my asparagus. I need to get another tote of asparagus started. But see, the eggplant's still blooming. It still wants to produce. My tomatoes here is kind of looking... But look, I've been harvesting my Egyptian walking onions. I've planted so many more. I said I've got to start harvesting them and cooking them instead of buying the white tomatoes or my green tomato. My green onions. I can't talk this morning, y'all. I said I need to start harvesting and cooking them, and that's what I've been doing. More grape tomatoes. They're not looking too good here because they're in the sun in the hot afternoon, so the sun is keeping them burnt down pretty bad. But there's more eggplant. And see, it's still blooming, trying to produce more eggplant. And here's my bell peppers. Look at there. Those are the green bell pepper. Aren't those pretty? Ain't that right, little buddy? Huh? And there's the orange. I've got several different plants in here. So some are orange, some are green. And then I've got some over here. They're weighting the plant down, so I've got to start picking some of these bell pepper. They're getting top heavy. Look at that. And there's some. And I got some back over here. But they've all got bell pepper on them. Look at that back over there. So I've not cleaned up a lot of this stuff yet because, like I said, my tomatoes are still producing tomatoes, and I'll just let the freeze kill them off. Look how tall that got. That's a good 10-foot tall. Look at those up there. Egyptian walking onions. Yeah, I've got garlic plant, three pots, big pots of garlic. I've got red onions planted. I've got yellow onions, white onions, and a bunch of my Egyptian walking onions replanted. So I'll be onion poor this year. I don't know what this is. There's my cabbages. I'm going to end up harvesting leaves from this, I think, and cooking the leaves. Because, you know, it already headed up. And I cut the heads off of those 3. But I left the base. And this is what's grown from the base. You grow more cabbage from it. And they'll head up again. See, that one's trying to head up. What is it, Lucky? And I think my little strawberry plants that I put in the pots to root, they're gone dormant on me. So I'm going to leave them there and hoping they'll come up in the spring when the other ones do. These tomato plants here are still growing. I got Egyptian walking onions here with a volunteer marigold. Tomato plant. It's got blooms, so if it don't freeze, you know, we'll have more tomatoes on here. It's full of blooms. And I got onions planted here. I didn't put anything in that little pot yet. But we need rain, y'all. We need rain desperately. It's hard to keep your plants alive when you don't get any rain. Look at that perfect little grape tomato. Isn't that awesome? It tastes as good as it looks, too. Look at here. I don't remember the name of those tomatoes, but they kind of got stripes on them. For the life of me, I can't remember the name. But hopefully they'll have time to ripen. Maybe. Yeah, I think I'm going to come out here and harvest my basil, my thyme, my parsley, and my rosemary. Because I've probably got enough to fill the dehydrator up with all the different ones. And then I can separate them, you know, when I take them out and store them. But all my rose bushes are still looking good back here. Yeah, I kind of wish now I'd have put the Rose of Sharon bush here. Thinking back, that would have been a perfect spot for it. Because I think it would have grown really well. And I've been thinking about moving these bearded iris, getting them out from in the rose bushes. And I might end up putting that Rose of Sharon here. Because I've been thinking about putting the bearded iris around that bird bath right there. Finishing out the little rock garden around it and putting the bearded iris in that. Anyway, it's a thought. It's an idea. So we'll see. Well, I want to thank y'all for coming along with me on my much needed garden tour and yard tour. I haven't had one in a while. But I thought I would do that and just give y'all an update of what's going on. Look at that. Those are those Casper. The heat, though, has turned some of them yellow. So I'm not going to let them get very big. I'm going to pick that one pretty soon because I don't want it to turn yellow and get hard. Ain't that right, little buddy? Huh? So thank you so much for spending time with me in my little garden tour this morning. I appreciate all the time you spend with me. I enjoy doing my garden. I enjoy showing it to everybody. You know, because when you grow a garden like I do here in the heat of this Texas, especially when you got droughts every summer, you're basically living in the desert. You've accomplished something when you got plants growing. Look at this. I opened the door to come in from outside from the garden tour, and both Little Buddy and Lucky both scooted in the door because they've learned if I open that back door and let them come in, or they'll scoot in. They don't give me a chance to stop them. And they'll run usually to the front door that I will give them treats. I'll open the front door and give them treats out there on the front porch. So they do it every time. I can't come in the back door with them going around the garden tour with me without them scooting in the door because they want treats. Lucky, you better come on, kitty kitty. Come on. See, here he comes. He knows he's going to get some treats. Look at this. Yeah, you know you're going to get treats. If I can do this holding. See, they're spoiled. They've learned to come in that back door. Spoiled fur babies, but I love them.